Hmm. Hi, everyone. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm recording this video to share more context about my upcoming 3-week online live group sessions experiential intensive, which is called Cultivating Kundalinī, which is a subject I'm deeply passionate about, which is very close to my heart, which has formed a lot of my own personal learning, facilitation, and sharing experience out in the world. And also is a topic that's really close to my own roots. Um, I was born in India and I grew up there. And through the course of my own life experience, growing up in India and also living and spending a lot of time in many other countries in deeply embodied circles of inquiry, bringing together the classical Tantrik innovations of Kundalini, and especially the radical innovations that were introduced between the 9th and 11th centuries in Kashmiri Shaivism that deeply contributed to not just the development of different schools of Tantra, but also yoga, and in particular Hatha Yoga, and many other wisdom traditions, including non-dual Vedanta and the Trans-Himalayan traditions, and also deeply somatic work in the body, in the nervous system, in the brain, in and deeper still in the body, with the fluid system, and also the energetics of all of this, bringing it all together through the emotional and energetic bodies. So the 3 weeks bring together bioenergetics, somatic research, biohacking, the emotional and energetic bodies, and conscious communication tools with classical non-dual tantra from a native perspective, the Taoist internal arts, Indian dance and folk music traditions that I'm also very deeply passionate about that have influenced the development of Tantra in very specific ways, and also the temple arts and soul awareness. So if this is something that excites you, practically, we will be exploring the subjects that I've just mentioned using techniques and rituals such as masculine and feminine, and I'm using those words quite carefully, or yin and yang, bioenergetic, emotional tension, anxiety, nervousness, and stress release tools and gestures, isolating and synthesizing somatic practices and meditations from very specific tantric texts that are key root tantric texts that inform different tantric schools and traditions, such as the Vigyan Bhairava Tantra and also the Tantra Loka, and also the Hatha Yoga Pradapika and the Natya Shastra. So we'll be synthesizing while firstly isolating practices and then synthesizing these practices. And also the embryological breath, which is also sometimes called the Taoist breath of no breath, nervous system, fluid system, and triune brain neurotransformative embodiment. We'll be going deeper into embodiment of the polyvagal theory, and also microcosmic orbit development and orgasmicity, which is exploring ecstatic states that aren't necessarily focused on peak states of orgasm. So, learning to serve more ecstatic states of awareness and full body energy orgasm development, together with the dance of the Ouroboros, which is the dance of the snake eating its own tail, which can't really be explained in words, but does have its own symbol, which is the symbol of the snake eating its own tail. But sometimes dance is a more precise medium of communication to understand and experience the symbol itself. So these are some of the techniques and rituals that we'll be undertaking together, and we'll be bringing all of this back to relate with the map of radical innovation that was first introduced in the schools, the Tantric non-dual schools of Kashmiri Shaivism. So practically, we'll be exploring modules, some of which are nervous system and fluid system embodiment, the triune brain, neurotransformative embodiment, exploring anxiety and emotional release tools, sometimes for short that I call tantrum and microtrauma, and also exploring our body's capacity for the many defense and spontaneous recovery micro movements and gestures. Deeper embodiment of the polyvagal theory that was introduced by Stephen Porges, and also the unique contributions of his partner, Dr. Sue Porges, to biochemistry. And also orgasmicity and the fluid energetic orgasm, paying special attention to the possibility of embodying going under the nervous system into the fluid system, because where the rubber meets the road is oftentimes when our nervous system itself gets hijacked. And understanding deeper about the importance of and the ability and the capacity to access our fluid system under the tone and awareness of our nervous system itself to support the body to build more resilience. And then weaving all of this back to tantric, somatic, and practical energetic practice in the body, introducing key root tantric texts in Sanskrit and their translations into English, and exploring some of these practices, and then weaving them back to how these practices can be applied to contemporary life using some of the modules and practices and rituals and meditations that we explored in previous modules. And we'll be exploring them in a spiral fashion. So practically what this looks like is we have 7 group live sessions, 4 of them on weekends. We begin on the 13th of March and we end on the 3rd of April. And practically the 4 longer group live sessions are on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. UK time. And the midweek sessions are on Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. UK time. And the experiential intensive, the focus is on live attendance. So while there will be recordings of practices and shorter lectures and all of the information that will be uploaded to the Facebook group that we will share, we will not be having recordings of the live sessions themselves available for participants, but we will be recording snippets and specific practices for you to have, and they will also be available after we close our time together. There will also be a post experiential intensive integration session and a lot more information shared in our own Facebook group that will also be available for 2 months after we complete. And there's a lot more information surrounding the actual modules that I've also shared with you here to or on the Cultivating Kundalini event page that I will also link to at the bottom of this video. So If you feel drawn to prioritizing attention to cultivating safety, aliveness, worthiness, play, presence, in your nervous system itself, and also greater clarity about where to direct life force energy towards potentially more creative or maybe artistic expression, inviting you to join me in this live group sessions experiential intensive that begins on the 13th of March. Thank you for your time and attention, and welcoming you to join me. Big blessings, and thank you. Hmm.